Lake Placid, the final chapter from UFO International. Released September 29th, 2012. It's premiered on Sci Fi, so you know what we're getting into. Um, Starring Elizabeth Rowan, Robert Englund, produced by Jeffrey Beach, and Philip Roth, written by David Reed, and directed by Don Michael Paul, who has some interesting TV movies, a little higher quality than most. He's done like Tremors 5 Bloodlines, Tremors A Cold Day in Hell. He's also going to be doing the new one that's supposed to come out at the end of the year. And he's done like some of the Sniper sequels, like Sniper Legacy and stuff, just to name a few things that he's done. He's all over the board though. He's done like family films and everything like that. And he's actually a pretty good director, I think. But yeah, Lake Placid, the final chapter. This is basically, if you've seen the first three Lake Placid movies, this one's definitely pretty much a copy of 2 and 3, which is basically fan service. You know what you're getting into when you watch the Lake Placid series. It's supposed to be the last one. I think there's like one or two more after this. But yeah. But this one is definitely the same vein as 2 and 3. It sort of improves upon it though, because those ones here. But yeah. But has a pretty stellar cast for this film. There's some British actors that are acting in American production, and I think it's actually an Australian production. But yeah, but it improves upon it. So it follows your stereotypical monster premise, though. This one sort of follows sort of same as like the Loch Ness Terror sort of story. It has a teen girl who wants to go on a camping trip with her friends, and her mom's the sheriff, and the town sheriff, and she's not sure, but encourages her to go with her friends. Now, it sort of picks up after 3, where the state government, anyways, closed off the lake, but they have a horny, weird bus driver who doesn't notice the signs and drives right through and takes them to the wrong lake, the cordoned off lake, where these big, oversized alligators that scientists have been tweaking with live. And basically they think they have a great summer time. There's a lot of good eye candy for all you single guys out there. It was great. A lot of gorgeous babes in this. And from what I've heard from friends and stuff like that, a lot of girls like the guys in this film too. So good all around. Yeah. There's a lot of good kills in this movie as well, especially at the beach scene that I'm talking about. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so basically, some attacks start happening. People start disappearing. They're wondering why. And then the big croc shows himself. And then they're like, oh, we're at the wrong lake. And then it's up to them this group of friends. And they have a chaperone for some reason who didn't really need to be in the movie. The dad that's like watching it and watches his daughter get eaten, which is hilarious. She's also the town slut in this film. So, but anyways, yeah, and they basically have to work together to try to get out. And Robert Englund plays the best, really funny alligator hunter, but he wants the prize trophy, and basically they have to rely on him to get out. And but like the first two, he's one of those greedy people who wants the eggs and to sell them and to move it to make money off it, because he's greedy and plays the greedy bastard. He does have a lot of good funny lines in this movie though too. So that, and then it's up to them to try to escape with the help of the sheriff, and we have to take down the crocodile. So it's your typical Lake Placid sequel, but done a little bit better. They improved the look of the alligators. The CG in this actually looks pretty decent. It's not super cartoony or anything like the previous two. This one has a little more texture and stuff like that, and they do use a lot more practical effects in this, which Don Michael Paul, I think, likes to do that as best he can. With what he has. So yeah, the acting's pretty well done. There's a couple throwaway characters that don't actually die in this. They're just annoying and weird, which they could have done better without. But yeah, the acting and portrayal of the characters are pretty well done. Also, I think they could have improved on Robert Englund's Hunter character a little bit more, gave him like a little bit more lines because he doesn't really have a big role till near the end. But also, I think he was just a big name for to sell the film. But they definitely could have done more with this character, not just leave him as the jerk at the end. They could have have like him goofing off or something like that, and then turns out to be the jerk. Yeah, but that's just the writing and of the film. So writing was okay. It was beautifully shot though, well done. A lot of good scenes. Director definitely knows what he's doing with this film. So hats off to him. A lot of good young actors and stuff. They're all really good and believable. It's not wooden acting or anything like that. I was pretty impressed with that. And the one thing I like about this movie the best is that it shows it's definitely made for that time because it shows how how unobservant young like teenagers and 20-year-olds are. Like there's one scene where the main character Jack gets taken by the alligator into the nest, and the alligator's sleeping, but it swallowed her phone. So you hear it ringing, and she opens up the mouth and puts her whole arm in there and gets the phone out. And there's a big, massive, like, practical puppet and stuff like that. It was awesome. That's probably my favorite scene of this whole film. But overall, I thought it was pretty decent. It was better than I was expecting. Like I said though, it is pretty much the same. It's just a new form of skin and a good sort of send off. But they could have done it a little bit more. I think they finally killed it in the fifth one, but I don't know why they call it the final chapter. I think they didn't expect it to be have that good praise, but it is a higher caliber than 2 and 3. So if I was going to rate this, I'm actually going to rate this one probably a 4 out of 5 from me. So definitely check it out. Cho's link down below if you want to. It makes it look kind of lame and stuff, but definitely check it out. It's actually pretty decent. So especially if you like Placid or Frankenfish or any of those silly old school sci-fi channel movies, check it out. It's pretty good. My Instagram's linked down below as well, where I post film clips of movies that I'm going to review in the future on my stories, so make sure you follow me there. Make sure you like this video, share it if you really want to. Make sure you subscribe because you never know what the hell I'm going to talk about. And I'll probably even talk about the other Lake Placid movies soon too. So never know. So make sure you subscribe and comment down below what you thought. Did you think this movie was lame? Because I heard a lot of people say they thought that, but I think those are just mainstream moviegoers who love the shitty Marvel movies and stuff. But yeah. Yeah. And then comment other films that you want to hear my opinions on. Like, do you really want to hear what I think about Marvel and Hereditary and Cabin in the Woods and all that junk? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll tell you if you want to hear it. All right. Well, I'm still in this monster character in this quarantine, so I'm going to go look up another good monster movie to check out, and I'll see you in the next review. And hopefully when I go to my buddy's cottage, I don't get eaten by a crazy big alligator, because, well, that would just be awesome. Hopefully it does happen.